Assalamu alaikum, my dear student. How are you? Hope you are well. This is Mohammad Ashraful Islam, lecturer, Department of Physics, Milestone College. Today I am here taking an online class. I hope this class will help you the better study at your home. Today I am going to discuss some MCQ question from chapter 5, which is included in your second paper. And the topic of the chapter is electromagnetic induction and alternating current. Okay, my dear student, let's start our today's class. Let's see the first MCQ question. The question is, what is called the induced electromotive force in a closed coil by a variable magnetic field? The answer is electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction. Next question, question number 2. Question is, what is the correct mathematical terms of the magnetic flux? The correct terms of the magnetic flux is phi equals to A B cos theta. Now question number 3. The question is, what is the unit of magnetic flux? The unit of magnetic flux is Weber. In short, we can write here W, and there is another unit of magnetic flux, that is Tesla per meter square. These both are the unit of electromagnetic flux, but the more convenient unit is Weber. Next question, the question number 4. What is the unit of self-inductance? The unit of self-inductance is Henry. And in short, you can write H. Let's see the question number 5. The question is, which one of the following graph indicates the self-inductance? You know the relation between self-inductance and magnetic flux is phi equals to Li. This is actually the equation of the straight line. You know the equation of straight line is y equals to mx plus c. So this is the straight line passing through the origin, and in the graph you can see this option number C. This graph is a graph which is a straight line passing through the origin. So this is the actually graph which is indicates the self inductance. Hope you have understand. Next question, question number 6. 1 Henry equals to what? You know 1 Henry equals to 1 volt second per ampere. Let's see the question in detail. You know the relation of electromotive force and induction is E equals to minus m di divided by dt. Now if you want to calculate the unit of induction, that is Henry, then you can write m equals to E divided by di divided by dt. Now if we put the value of if we put the unit of electromotive force, current and time, then we can write the unit of induction is Henry. So 1 Henry equals to unit of electromotive force is volt divided by unit of current is ampere and unit of time is second. Unit of time is second. That is why we can write 1 volt second per ampere. This is the answer of question number 6. Hope you have understand. Next question, question number 7. The question is, if 2 volt electromotive force is induced in a coil due to the rate of change of current of 0.5 ampere per second. The question is, what will be its self inductance? We have to calculate the self inductance. You know the formula or the relation between electromotive force and self inductance is E equals to minus L into di I divided by dt. This is the relation between electromagnetic force and self-induction. Now, if you want to calculate the self-inductance, that is L, then you can write L equals to E divided by di divided by dt. Di divided by dt. Here E, the value of E, electromotive force, is given 2 volt, and di by dt is the rate of change of current, which is given here 0.5. Now if we put the value of E, which is 2, and di by dt is here 0.5, after calculation that expression you will get 4 Henry. This is the answer of question number 7. Hope you have understood. Next question, what is the unit of mutual induction? This is similar to the self-induction. The unit of self-induction and mutual induction is same, and unit of mutual induction is Henry. So our answer is Henry, but in short you can write the unit capital letter H. Next question, question number 9. The question is, the value of mutual induction of two coils is 1.5 Henry. And if 5 ampere current passes during 1 millisecond in the primary coil of the transformer, then calculate the induced electromotive force in the secondary coil. You know the formula of electromotive force, E equals to minus m into di divided by dt. This is the relation between mutual induction and electromotive force. Now if we put the value of m, which is given here 1.5, and here 5 ampere current passes through 1 millisecond through the primary coil. So time is here given 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond equals to 0.10 to the power minus 3 second. And after calculation that expression, you will get the result 7500, as the unit of electromotive force is volt. So this is the answer of question number 9. Here I neglect the value, negative value. Next question, question number 10 question is, what is called the device which can convert mechanical energy to electrical energy? This is definitely a generator. You know the definition of generator is the device or the electrical device which can convert mechanical energies to is called generator, and the electric motor is just opposite device to the generator, and the motor can convert electrical energy to mechanical energy. So our answer is generator. Generator can convert mechanical energy to electrical energy. Next question, question number 11. What is the condition of step down transformer? You know there are 3 conditions step down transformer. Regarding the number of turns, the number of turns of primary coil is greater than the number of turns of secondary coil. So the first condition regarding the number of turns of primary coil will be more than the number of turns of secondary coil. Second condition, EP greater than ES. And at last, regarding the current of secondary coil will be greater than current of primary coil. These are the relation of the step down transformer. Next question, Lenz's law is the alternate terms of which law of conservation? Lenz is the alternate terms of law of conservation of energy. So the right answer is law of conservation of energy. So our answer will be energy. Let's solve the question 13 and 14 according to the figure. Here you can see a transformer. The current of primary coil is given here 2 milliampere, and the voltage of primary coil is given here 240 volt, and number of turns of secondary coil NS is given 50, and the current of secondary coil is given 50 milliampere. This is the stem actually, and the question number 13 is, what is the value of NP? That is, we have to calculate the number of turns of primary coil. Number of turns of secondary coil is also given. So let's solve the question. Question number 13. We know the formula of number of turns of primary coil related to the current is Np divided by Ns equals to Is divided by Ip. Now if we going to calculate the value of Np, then we can write Np equals to Is is given here 50 milliampere. 50 milliampere means 10 to the power minus 3 ampere divided by N Ip. Ip is here 2 milliampere. 2 milliampere equals to 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, and Ns is here 50. And after calculation that expression, you will get Np, that is number of turns of primary coil, will be 1450. This is the answer of question number 13. Hope you have understood. Now question number 14. Question is, what is the value of ES? Here primary coil voltage EP is given 220 volt. So let's solve the question 14. We know the formula of number of voltage and number of turns will be EP divided by ES equals to IS divided by IP. Now if you want to calculate the value of ES, that is voltage of secondary coil, then we can write ES equals to EP into IP divided by IS. Now if we put the value EP is here 240, IP is 2 milliampere. 2 milliampere equals to 2 into 10 to the power minus 3, and IS is here 50 milliampere. 50 milliampere equals to 50 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. And after calculation that expression, you will get the voltage ES equals to 9.6 volt. This is the answer of question number 14. Question number 15. The question is, the equation of electric current of an alternating current is I equals to I naught sine omega t. If the amplitude and the frequency becomes double, then what will be the right equation? Here amplitude and frequency becomes double, then what will be its new equation? Amplitude means the maximum displacement from the position of equilibrium is called amplitude. Amplitude is represented by here I naught, because I naught is the maximum value of current. If I naught and the frequency omega will be double, then the equation will be like that: I equals to 2 I naught into sine 2 omega into t. This is the new equation. Next question, what is the peak value of current I equals to sine omega t? You know the equation of AC current or alternating current is a sine wave, and you know the formula of sine wave is I equals to I naught into sine omega t. Here I naught is the peak value of the current. And now if you compare this equation with that equation, then you can see here the value of I naught is here 1. I naught is here 1. So we can write here peak value of the current I equal to sine omega t is 1. So we can write here I naught equals to 1 ampere. This is the answer. Hope you have understand. Next question, question number 17. What is the required time to reach the peak value from the zero value of an alternating current or AC current? You know alternating current is a sine graph. Now I am going to draw a sine graph. This is the sine graph, and in x-axis we put here time, and y-axis we put here I. Now the time required for one complete vibration is called time period, so that time is time period, and the half of this time period is called T half, T by 2. And in this point is the peak value of the current, and this is the time is quarter half of the time period, that is T by 4, T by 4. So question is, what is the time required to reach the peak point from the 0 point? This is the 0 point. So the required time to reach the 0 point to the peak point is T equals to T by 4. That means the required time will be the quarter half of the time period. This is the answer of question number 17. Next question, question number 18. The question is, if the frequency and alternating current is 15 Hz, then what is the required time to reach the peak value? Here frequency is given 25 Hz, so we will get time period, because we know time period is the reverse of frequency. So if we put the value of frequency 25 Hz, 1 by 25, so we will get 0.04 second. Now we are going to calculate the required time to reach the peak value. You know the required time to reach the peak value is T by 4. Now if we put the value of time period, this is 0.04 divided by 4. So we will get 0.01 second. This is the answer of question number 18. Now question number 19. The question is, the equation of electric current of alternating current is I equals to 14 into sine 314 t. What is the frequency of the current? Now if we compare this equation with the sine wave, that is the AC current, so we can write I equals to I naught sine omega t. If we compare this equation of AC or alternating current with the given equation, then we can write omega, that is the angular velocity, equals to 300. Angular velocity omega equals to 314. As you know, the formula of angular velocity is 2 pi f equals to 314. And after calculation that expression, then you can write f equals to 314 divided by 2 pi. And after calculation that expression, we will get frequency 50, and the unit of frequency is Hertz. So the answer of question number 19 is 50 Hertz. Now question number 20. The question is, what is the mean value of the electric current of AC current? The mean value of AC current is I bar equals to 2 by pi I naught. That means 2 by pi of I naught. And if we calculate the 2 by pi, then the answer will be 0.637 I naught. This is the mean value of AC current. Now, what is the mean value of electromotive force? EMF, the full form of EMF is electromotive force of our alternating current for full cycle. For full cycle, this is the alternating current, and for full cycle, the mean value of electromotive force E bar equals to 0. You have to memorize this thing. Now question number 22. The question is, what is the peak value of the supply line of 220 volt? We know the RMS value of electromotive force is E RMS equals to E naught divided by root 2. Now here supply line is connected with 220 volt, that is the RMS value of electromotive force is 220 volt given. and we have to calculate the peak value of that current, that is E naught. That is why we can write E naught equals to E RMS into root over 2. ERMS, value of ERMS is here 220 into root over 2, and after calculation that expression you will get the answer of peak value of electromotive force 311 volt. This is the answer of question number 22. Hope you have understand. Now question number 23. The question is, what is the effective value of the electromotive force when E is 5 sin 50 t? We have to calculate the effective value of electromotive force, that is RMS value of the electromotive force. So first of all, if we compare this given equation with the equation of electromotive force of alternating current, is we know E equals to E naught sin omega t. And if you compare this equation of alternating current with the given equation, then you can write E naught, the peak value of electromotive force is here 5. That is why we can write here E naught equals to 5. Now we know again we know the ERMS value of the electromotive force will be E naught divided by root over 2. E naught divided by root over 2. Here we already get E naught. E naught is here 5 volt. E naught is here 5 volt. Now if you put the value of E naught, which is 5 volt divided by root 2, and its unit will be volt. This is the answer. That's all for today. If you have any problem in my today's lecture that I have discussed in my class, so you may ask your subject teacher. Thank you for your patient hearing. Stay safe, stay home.